But it says not to make graven images of anything in heaven. That's one of the commandments, not making these graven images of things in heaven. Well, he called the firmament heaven. He put the planets up there. We call them planets. They're not really planets. They're the chiefs of the stars. And when you read like the book of Enoch, it has a prophecy about them. It says they're going to leave their orbital paths and tasks. Everything was prescribed a path at creation that showed us the appointed times and when things were happening. That's how they knew when the Messiah was coming. They've always had people studying the stars. But it says the chiefs of the stars, the ones that we call planets, will leave their orbital paths, and a generation to come, a generation of sinners, will err in their understanding about them and take them to be gods. And every single one of them is named after a god, except for earth. And what was earth? Dry land. God called dry land earth. Not the seas, not the world. There's the world, which is everything, the firmament, the whole world, the waters. But earth is just dry land. And so it's a prophecy that would have helped if people would have kept that book. They'd have understood it, that was going to come. But that book was hidden for years and years and years. And it says at the very beginning, this book is for a generation to come in the end times. So it's like one of those that when you read it, everything makes sense. Why we've been lied to, who's been lying to us,
And why?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the most important question to answer is why. And it's that spiritual aspect of it.
Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore let no man glory in men.
Another declassified CIA document. They're checking out the firmament in this one, 1953 now. In the investigations, 2 instruments designed by V.G. Fezenkov were used. One of these was a visual photometer of the daytime sky intended for measuring the brightness of the firmament, and derived, get this now, on the assumption of a flat Earth. So the Russians are trying to check out the firmament based on assumptions of a flat Earth in 1957?
XM-33. Thor, launched by a pod-carrying Thor missile. Its yield was 1.4 megatons.
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now.
Point Nemo. Nope, it's not in Antarctica. This spot lies more than 13,000 feet deep in the South Pacific Ocean and is further from land than any other point on Earth. And that's how Point Nemo has become the world's only spacecraft graveyard.